Etra-chan saw it. My name is Karing. I work as a choreographer and also a dance school teacher in the city. It's almost Golden Week, huh? I have no intention of going back to my parents' house, but I'm annoyed with all the people around me that are planning on going back home. It's also been almost 10 years since I've been in the city, but I've never been back to my parents' house. The reason is simple. I despise my mother. My parents were unable to have kids easily, and I happen to be their lucky child. I was a child they always wanted, so you might think that I cherished and raised with love, but it was the complete opposite. My father was kind, but my mother was strict and very overprotective. What time do you think it is? I'm sorry. She couldn't buy me and toys, and even when I hung out with friends, I would get chewed out if I wasn't home by 4 p.m. If my test grades were even a little bit off, it was a given that she would slap my face. My father covered for me, but I was still suffering. The reason that I started to totally hate my mother was when I was trying to talk to them about where I wanted to go after high school. Hey, Dad, Mom, I think I figured out what I want to do after high school.
Oh, really? What is it?
What did you want to become? A banker? A nurse? If you want to go to college, we saved up the money for that.
Oh, come on, Yuzuriha. Relax. Let's hear Karin talk first, okay?
I want to be a dancer. Huh? Are you serious? You really think that you can make a living off of dancing? I wanted to join the dance club from the moment that I started high school. When I told my mom about how I went to watch them, she was furious like a raging flame, and I didn't even get dinner that night. I couldn't give up though, so I would watch dancing on TV and quietly practice at home. And you can't even dance, can you? I've been practicing on my own without telling you guys, and my friends from dance class have been teaching me too, so I can dance. I want to go to a legitimate school in the city so that I can really learn the ropes. What? You're planning on living alone then? Of course you can't do that! It's not that rare for people to start living alone out of high school. I want to become a dancer! You need to drop the dancer thing immediately! How ridiculous! You're going to become a rotten human being! Ugh, you're the worst!
Yuzuriha, Karin, both of you need to calm down.
I wish I was never born. At least not from you, Mom. You! How dare you say such a thing to your own mother! You wait right there! Huh? You thought that if you just hit me like you always did, I'd just shut up and listen? Sorry, but I've grown up a lot more than you think, too. Several tens of minutes later.
Karin, you must be hungry, right? I brought you some rice balls.
Where's Mom?
She's in the bath right now. Is it alright if I come inside?
Mom just hates me. She doesn't want me. She just wants some kind of plaything that'll listen to everything she wants and only does what she asks.
I don't think so. Your mother is just worried about you, Karin. That's why she's so strict on you.
Dad is just gonna take Mom's side too. After getting into a big argument with my mother, I hadn't spoken to my mother once. My father was the only one that went to the graduating with me, and I turned down my father's help to go to dance school. I just used the money that I made from working part-time. Honestly, I think that it's probably a little childish of me to not send a single text in almost 10 years, but it is too awkward now to see my mother. I still text Dad from time to time, and both of them are now coming up on 70, but they're apparently not sick and doing well. It's from Dad. Rare of him to call me this late. I wonder what he wants. Hello?
Oh, Karin. Sorry to call you at a time like this.
It's all good, Dad. What's up? Dad?
Well, it's about Yuzuriha.
What about Mom? Is she sick or something?
No, she's not sick. She isn't injured or anything either, but...
Then what is it?
Well...
Huh? The next day. The call that I got from my dad was a call informing me that my mother had developed dementia and was becoming senile. She was only like 70 though. She's too young. The symptoms were severe and she doesn't even recognize who my father is from time to time. He thought that if there was some kind of stimuli, then maybe she remembers something. So my father begged me to come back home to see her. Who are you?
Please! I'm begging you!
I've got to see my mom after all these years. This is way too depressing. I'm home.
Welcome home! It's been so long, Karin.
Hey, Dad, thanks.
Sorry for asking you to come all this way.
It's okay. Where's Mom?
Oh, she's in the living room.
Karin? Mom, it's been so long. Huh? Oh my gosh, you surprised me. It's not even Karin. Who are you, ma'am? Huh? It's me. It's Karin. It's just been a really long time.
Karin.
Dad. Karin graduated high school the other day and hasn't come back home after leaving the house.
Yuzuriha, this is one of the helpers. Her name is Karin-san.
Oh, please, you didn't need to come help us. The house is so small. I'm so sorry about that. Your name is Karin too, My daughter's actually called Karin, have I told you? Come on in. Let me pour you some tea. It had been about 10 years and she didn't even realize that her own daughter had just come home. More than anything, unlike my mother's voice that I remember, the woman that stood in front of me now sounded peaceful. Here you are. Thank you very much. There's not much here, but please take your time. Thank you. My, oh my, you really look just like my daughter, don't you? Do I really? Yes, but she ran out of the house right after graduating high school. I think I was too strict on her. It was so awkward that I couldn't go to graduation with her. Why? Huh? Why were you so strict on her? Your daughter might have always been hurt.
Karin, you need to calm down a little.
I'm sorry, but can you please step out, Dad? I'm begging you.
Fine. But do not say anything too mean to her. Please.
Your daughter wanted to be a dancer, right? Why would you deny her dreams and aspirations like that? I wanted to protect her. I was afraid I'd lose Karin like I lost my younger sister. I was terrified. Your younger sister? But your daughter wasn't sick or anything, right? My mother had a younger sister named Akane. She was a lot younger than my mother. However, she passed away. She was around 18 years old. Yeah, she's very healthy. Akane was very healthy too. Never sick. Huh? Akane was killed. It's not going too far to say that I killed her, actually. Huh? Akane wanted to be a dancer too. She went to the city and I was rooting for her as well. She worked hard on her lessons and even had a boyfriend who was a dancer too. She seemed like she was having so much fun. But that boyfriend, he killed her. What? Her boyfriend was apparently into illegal drugs and she used those drugs because her boyfriend asked her to try. She overdosed on Akane. I didn't think much about it before rooting for her, so Akane just died. Huh? That's why, if I just worked hard and made sure to teach my daughter well, then she wouldn't be doing anything like that, but I was wrong. What do you think she said before she left? She said that she wishes she was born for me. Kind of rude, huh? But I think that she's not wrong. Why? Didn't you tell your daughter any of that? I couldn't muster up the courage myself. I didn't want my own daughter to think that I was some kind of murderer. I was so worried. But you didn't even do anything wrong, Yuzuriha. You literally couldn't do anything about it. You had just talked to her about it. Thank you. I'm also a dancer at the moment. I kinda ran out on my own mother as well because she said I couldn't do it. Oh, really? I didn't realize you were also in the same boat. I hadn't talked to her at all, but I wanted to apologize. If only just face her and talk to her. I'm so sorry. 1 hour later. Man, I look like crap.
Karin, are you okay?
Dad, did you know about what happened with Mom's past?
Yeah, I knew.
Why didn't you tell me, Dad? You just told me that I wouldn't listen to what Mom had to say.
I'm really sorry. I was scared too. I have no idea how deeply wounded Yuzuriha was from losing her sister, Akane-san. And she doesn't even remember that she told me about Akane-san either.
Huh?
I ran into her at a bar, actually. Right around the time that she lost Akane-san. She was completely wasted. Are you okay, ma'am?
Please, leave me alone.
It was such a heavy topic to talk about. Too heavy for everyone else. So she talked to me about it. a random guy who happened to be there at the time. She couldn't tell the truth to anyone. And if I decided to just tell the truth to everyone, then it might actually destroy her heart. But she doesn't even know that I know. I was just so terrified of what to do.
Dad.
Yuzuriha doesn't know who I am or who you are. Telling her and forcing information into her is going to make her panic. It's very upsetting. But that's why I think that you might be able to listen to what she's really been thinking this whole time now.
Dad. It might be too late, and I don't know what I can do now, but I want to face her head on.
I see. Well, thank you.
Afterwards, I told all of my students who had lessons and other clients that I had to take a week off from my mother. I'm sorry, My mom would forget about me after one night, and I kept introducing myself to her as the helper Karin. Who are you? Oh, I'm Karin, the helper around your house. 1 week later. Yuzuriha, I brought you your carrots, meat, and some other stuff you wanted. Are you going to be making some kind of stew or something? Thank you very much, that's right. Man, I really loved eating Mom's stew when I was young. Wow, it's meat stew! Oh, that's awesome. I'll help you out, okay? Yeah, you really loved meat stew when you were younger, didn't you? Yeah. Huh? Mom? Karin, what is it, dear? Huh? Oh, it's nothing. Never mind. I'm not misunderstanding. She definitely did understand that it was me. Why are you crying, dear? Are you okay? Yes, I'm fine. Maybe it's from the onions. I haven't even got the onions yet, though. How interesting. After that, I would come home every year as a helper Karin. At least until the day that I can come back as the daughter Karin.
ご視聴いただきありがとうございました。身内で危険な目にあった実例があったからこその反対だったわけですね。心配で過干渉になってしまうのも無理ないかもです。とはいえ、いくら我が子のことを思っていたとしても、その気持ちが伝わらないんじゃ意味ないですからね。伝えるための手段や機会はいくらでもあったはずなんですから。何はともあれ、数年ぶりに誤解が解けてよかったです。皆さんはどう感じましたか？コメント欄に書いていただけると嬉しいです。また、少しでもいい話だなと思った方、チャンネル登録と高評価をお願いいたします。